Let's go. Another session on the books. We keep learning, we keep looking for better, we keep moving forward. Characteristic of carrying forward what has been, what you are becoming now, and what you will become to be. Sir, with that mic a little bit, sir, music a little bit hot to start. Don't worry, I can get this. I can get this whole like streaming thing figure out. I know where we can be perfect, but you know, nothing is ever perfect when you start, especially when you start before you're ready, right? Can't really wait to start. Can't really wait to be ready before you start, anyways, right? You got to get it figured out. So we can get the session going in like 10 minutes once this timer run out. But for now, we can have a quick little conversation, right? And I think what's on my mind to speak about today is going to be being informed, right? And why it's important to be informed about things, whether that be being informed about the career path that you want to pursue, being informed about, you know, if you're interested in starting a business, what are the steps to go into starting a business, and being informed about what's going on in your surroundings, whether that be what the laws and the rules are, what the policies and guidelines are, etc. When it comes to content creation, I've learned that there are people out there that are not informed. They're not informed, and it's kind of a pet peeve for me because the reality situation is you don't have an excuse why you're not informed, right? You have none. You got Chat GPT, you got Gemini, you got Grok, you got all these AI assistants which are really designed to make accessing already easily accessible information even more readily available to you, right? I know a lot of people, when it comes to the content creating space, a lot of people have problems with AI, and I think the problems that they're having with AI is because they see it as a threat to their creativity and the creative process. To those who consider themselves to be purists or pure creatives, right? Because there's a lot of people that are using and entering the YouTube sphere or the content creation space using AI to do 100% of the work, which is generate the scripts, B-roll, sometimes even know the actual video. People are using AI to create the video, and it's getting to the point where it's really good. But they never call it AI slot, which I can understand and see why they call it slot, because you can tell that it has little to no effort. AI isn't perfect, but AI is a very, very, very valuable tool. Imagine being the person that had access to a chainsaw first back in lumberjack days. People cutting down trees with axes, and the man with a chainsaw comes along and does double, triple, almost 10 times the work of the axe of the person with the axe. And that's how we need to look at AI, and that's why we need to leverage these tools to stay informed, because this is the information age we live in. This is the reason why it's called that. Everything is surrounded around information technology. And if we look at history, there's the industrial age, there was the agricultural age, and we moved through those ages, and now we in the information age. And in the information age, everything is driven right now through online internet technology. And AI helps you pull all that information and put it in one place very, 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 very quickly. So you have no reason why you shouldn't be informed. But yet there's still people out there that would argue with you and come up with a lot of bro science, which if you really listen to it and if you try to follow it, it leads you to a very demotivating and dark space when it comes to creating content on YouTube. Because the competition is fierce. Billions and billions of videos and different pieces of content is being created every hour, every day, every minute, every second. People releasing videos. So competition is fierce. So you need to stay up to the times and you need to stay informed and move as quickly as possible. Every 5 years technology is getting greater, and I think that, you know, right now we're in a space where, you know, the microchip is probably as small as it's going to get, but it's going to get smaller and things are going to get faster, which means we're going to see some significant leaps in technology. And if you look at where AI used to be, I saw somebody made a video the other day and showed the Will Smith eating spaghetti. Then it was terrible. The AI Will Smith was eating spaghetti and you could say, wow, that was crazy. No, the AI Will Smith eating spaghetti looks pretty good. Can't really tell the difference. Obviously, if you're really in tune with what's going on, you can see some inconsistencies. But again, let's take that out of the picture. Like, even if you want to argue, well, you don't want to use AI to create your videos, use AI to stay informed. Use AI to give you the latest and greatest information. Use AI to understand the policies and guidelines of YouTube so that you can protect your channel and the investment that you've made into your time, the investment that you've made, the money that you put in to get the different equipment, because you don't want to do that and inadvertently do something that breaks the policies of YouTube and then you lose your channel. And all this is a result of not staying informed. Understand what reusable content is. Understand what can get you banned. Understand what YouTube considers harmful. Understand your rights as it pertains to copyright infringement, copyright claims, copyright strikes, all these things, especially if you're going to be in a space where the reaction channels and you're going to be using other people's content to react to it. Big thing that I'm seeing right now is people say, oh, it's fair use, oh, it's fair use, it's fair use, and they lean on their limited knowledge of what fair use is. And yes, fair use is a thing, but if you dig a little bit deeper and you get yourself a little bit more informed about fair use, really, yes, it's a law, right? It's a law, it's an act. You can look at the number, blah blah blah. Actually, I don't know what it is, so let me see what the exact law is. This is the power of AI. So what are what are the exact laws when it comes to fair use, ChatGPT? Because I don't know the exact law, but I know enough to know it's a legal defense, technically speaking, which means that if you are using somebody's content under the Fair Use Act or law, you still have to show the burden of proof that it meets the requirements for fair use. And until you can prove that, a person can tell you not to use their content, which means they could copyright strike you. They can ask you to take it down, or they could submit a copyright claim and say, well, hey, I want to be able to benefit monetarily from your use of my content. And here we go, right? The statute 17 USC 107, notwithstanding provisions of sections 106 and 106A, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research, is not an infringement in determining whether the use made of work in any particular case is a fair use. The factors to be considered include the purpose and character of use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount and sustainability of the portion used, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for value of the copyrighted work. These four factors are guidelines, not hard rules. Courts weigh them together case by case. The list of criticism, comment, and news reporting is illustrative, not exhaustive. Right? Obviously, they go on and on and on, but look it up. The statute is 17 USC 107. Right? And inform yourself about it if you intend to use other people's content. Me personally, I am tempted to do reaction channels, but you know, I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure about navigating it. So you know what? I'm trying my best to create my own content. Right? Because as we progress in this AI age, these things are going to become more and more and more important, especially when you're talking about using a person's likeness, using a person's voice, all these different things. You know, that's just my opinion. Anyway, we're getting close to locking in for this next 50 minutes. Today, what I'm going to be working on, I have to do some things as it pertains to being unemployed. Namely, I have to submit my unemployment form, so I'm going to be working on that. Then I'm going to use that opportunity in the first 50 minutes to also look at, you know, some new jobs and what's not to apply for. Because yes, I full time for now, but you know, I have a wife and a small kid, a toddler, who's going to be 2 in September. And while YouTube could be a really good avenue to make money, it's not the avenue that I am 100% certain about right now, because there is some uncertainty about YouTube. It's all going to be about, you know, how you perform, how the market responds to you, and those things are a little bit too much of an uncertainty in my life right now, unless I blow up real crazy here now in the next 6 months. And if you want to help me blow up, like, comment, subscribe, share my content so I can get to the stage where my content is monetized. I'm at 136 subs now. The next stage before I can actually get some monetization is going to be 500, and then it's going to be 1,000. Then it's still got to work on 4,000 watch hours. So that's a lot for me to have to consider, especially knowing that I have a wife and child to support, right? And the type of person that I am, I always like to be strategic in my thinking and to have a plan and a strategy in place and a plan of action. So while I'm looking for work, I'm going to use all my free time to pour as much as I can into YouTube. And if it blow up, it blow up. And if I don't have to get a new job, that's great. But I'm not going to say, well, I'm not going to be looking for work, because I 100% full time and 100% all in. While I have some emergency funds saved up, I don't think it's going to last me as long as it takes me to get monetized and to be making a significant income to replace the salary that I just lost, which was a significant salary, right? Not to brag, not to boast, but it was pretty significant. And you know, if I be in real estate, I think it's going to be a long time before YouTube could provide that for me. But who knows? Who knows? But anyways, let's lock in for 50 minutes. Thank you again for tuning in. And remember, the important thing is to stay informed. Inform yourself. Learn, grow, continually learn, absorb as much as you can. The only constant in life is change. And if you don't change, just like the weather, you're going to be left behind. That being said, let's lock in this 50. Let's do it.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Lot 10 was able to get some stuff done. um feels real weird to be unemployed. I moved to the United States in 2014, and I left Barbados. I was just a lowly chauffeur, and then I was unemployed for like maybe 6 months, almost a year and 6 to 8 months, I would say. Yeah. And then I got a job in technology in 2015, and have been working ever since. Moved through multiple different roles and was able to, move through, basic technology support roles, leadership roles, team leader roles, senior management roles, service delivery management roles, and then I worked my way up to right now, previously in data governance and data analytics. And then this is the first time in that entire time that I've been unemployed, and it's a strange feeling. But you know, I've I'm happy to say that over the years, I didn't settle for the current status quo, and I kept educating myself and kept learning and growing. And I'm an ITIL master, which makes me certified in a whole range of functions across technology, whether that be strategy, information technology strategy, leadership management, and you know information technology business practices, IT service manager practices, and probably a whole lot of roles that you may not know anything about because you may be just in content creation or maybe in a different field of work. But that's just a little bit about myself, so you guys know I have a lot of experience, and that's one of the reasons why I started the YouTube channels, because I enjoy the leadership aspect of my previous roles, where I had a team and I was helping that team learn, grow, mentorship, coaching, show them how to make more money, show them how to become better leaders themselves, how to become better communicators. And when I moved into the role that I just left, or I'm no longer in, it was an individual contributor role, which means I didn't have a manager. Sorry, I didn't have people to manage per se. And you know, I miss the leadership aspect of it. I miss being able to help people learn, being able to help people grow. And then obviously a lot of my skill set is in technical writing, training, the documentation, research, analytics. So when it was looking at how do I bring my skills to the YouTube platform, um, that's where it landed in. Oh, I'm gonna help people, create small businesses, create YouTube channels, and apply corporate level business strategies to everyday life. Right? That's really my main goal. And if you watch my content and pay attention to the things that I'm saying, you realize that I lean a little bit more into my corporate training and development, and I'm trying to bring that over to the YouTube platform and show people the behind the scenes things. Because when you think about it, YouTube is going in a way that social media is the new age, right? Everything is about being content creators. Everything is about digital marketing, online marketing, and sales, um, sponsorships, etc., etc. And I don't see the world turning back from that, right? Which means competition is going to be super fierce. People are Everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone wants to create some sort of content, and you're not just competing against the average Joe. You're competing against businesses who are also trying to break into this space. So that means that businesses and corporations are going to be leveraging some of the same skills and techniques that I am referring to, I am talking about, and bringing it to the platform. Now, there's going to be a lot of argument I've heard about, the you in YouTube, being the small person in YouTube, being able to compete with the big dogs, which is fine and is all well and good. YouTube definitely is a place where the average Joe can start in their bedroom and build a multi-million dollar business. Just look at Mr. Beast, which, not to argue against the point, but it just goes to show that the person that starts small and that can think big and thinking media company, thinking corporation, thinking growing and expanding and scaling a business is going to be positioned to be super, super successful and to be very competitive in terms of being able to fend off some of the competition from big businesses that are already coming in with tons of resources that the average person in the bedroom, or like me, the average person that in their man cave, don't have. And if we look at Mr. Beast, if we look at PewDiePie and some of these other big name YouTube, Ali Abdaal, Think Media, all these people started from the U in YouTube, right? Very small space, and now they are running super big businesses, right? Huge businesses making tons of money, 6 figures, 7 figures. If you look at Mr. Beast, I turned on Amazon the other day, see Mr. Beast games on Amazon TV. He's his full on media company. He started at 12 in his bedroom, right? So I say all that to say this, that it's important to recognize the business aspect of YouTube. Because if you are looking to sustain yourself as an individual and sustain your family, or do whatever, make whatever impact you decide to make in the world, you're gonna have to consider learning business and expanding outside of I'm just a good influencer, I'm a good creator, I'm a good communicator, I play video games for a living, right? Because that's how we grow. And it all comes back down to staying informed and learning as much as you can about everything in your immediate surroundings, right? For me, I sometimes people lose a job. Yes, it's a little bit unnerving, but for the first time in my life, I lost my job, and I am not worried about the outcome. I built up my emergency fund, so I have a little nest egg stashed away that I can lean on in the case of an emergency. Obviously, I just today delayed my unemployment form, submitted that application, so I'm going to be having some money come in the interim, and that frees up my mind, and that frees me up to be able to think on my next move. Okay, my next move is going to be I going all in on YouTube. This doesn't mean that I am not going to be looking for a job, because obviously, just so you know, to get unemployment benefits, you have to every week keep track of the jobs you're applying for, sure that you're applying for jobs, and be prepared to take a job, because unemployment doesn't last forever, right? I'm not at the stage where my YouTube channel is monetized. Would love to get there. So in the meantime, I'm going to be working on those 2 tracks of work over the next however long. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Because again, like I said, I got a family to support. I want to be able to be a good dad and a good husband, and to be able to provide for my family, right? Just keeping it real. So not having the pressure of, oh my god, I don't have any car payments. Both work cars paid off, which is great. All these things is things that informed people do. Informed people know to get out of debt, because when you saddle with debt and something goes wrong, the burden it places on your life is huge. And one of the things that happened to me when I left Barbados, sorry about that, feeling a little bit stuffy. When I left Barbados, I left a situation where I was in survival mode 100% at the time, which means from day to day, anything that happened to me was an emergency. I actually was living day to day, day to day. I had to figure out, hey, how am I going to survive today? How am I going to eat today? Where am I going to get some money from today? And it was a hard life, and to be able to move from that to a situation now where I was able to build, to grow, to learn new skills, and to become self-sufficient and not have to worry about the day, but worrying about the month or the next 6 months, or even sometimes in this case, not even have to worry about the year. And the biggest takeaway from that for me was just simply being able to think straight. And it's such a surreal feeling to actually hear your own thoughts. And it may sound, I don't know, it might sound silly or whatever the case would be, but when you're in survival mode, you can't think. You're thinking, but you're thinking in a different way. You're thinking about the now. You're not thinking about the future. For a lot of the time, you're thinking about the past because you're kind of wallowing in a bad situation, and you feel bad about some of the decisions you made, things that ain't turn out the way you expected them to turn out, and then you're thinking about the now, and all these thoughts in your mind, you're just struggling, survival mode. You cannot actually think about what's going on. And that don't even have anything to do with personal problems, right? That's just trying to figure out, how do I stay afloat? How do I prevent myself from being homeless? How do I stay healthy? How do I eat? And I know a lot of success has been born from that position, because when I look at myself 15 years ago, if my future self had come back and say, hey Andre, here's where you're going to be, here's what you're going to be doing, I would never believe him. I'd be like, no, that's the way how things going right now, there's no way that that's what's in store for me. And now I'm here and I can think. I'm not in survival mode anymore. So like, I lost my job Thursday morning. I get the call, the city number pop up, and I knew what was happening. I just felt it, because there was some turbulence that was happening, and other people were getting laid off. You were hearing of people getting laid off, and you could only hope that it doesn't impact you. But then the city call and come and say, well, okay, it's me. This is my time. And yeah, I felt bad. Obviously, I lost my job. It was a good job, had a good team, good leadership. Enjoyed what I did personally. And over the weekend, I was able to put a plan of action into place. I going full in on YouTube. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start some work and study with me sessions to keep me accountable, keep my camera presence, get my practice up, learn how to speak freely, because right now a lot of what I do is scripted. I don't feel bad about saying that. Like, I like to write. Writing brings me joy, and I feel purpose when I write and put things to paper. So I write my scripts before I plan my YouTube. I write my scripts before I shoot my YouTube videos. So one of the things that I need to get better at is freestyling and just being a little bit more off the cuff. Live is gonna help me to do that. Live streaming is gonna help me to do that. Bingo. This is what I can do. Can you imagine if I didn't have an emergency fund? If my cars weren't paid off, if I had tons of credit card debt and I lost my job, is the whole different thought process, is a whole different feeling altogether. When all these things hit all at once and you got all that stuff to consider, you can't think straight. So it's a blessing to be able to think straight. It's a blessing to have myself in that position. And through making good decisions along the way, you will find that when something bad happens, you are prepared. It's like the story, the 5 virgins. Is it 5 virgins or 10 virgins with the oil in the Bible? 5 of them had oil and 5 of them didn't have oil. 5 of them was prepared and 5 of them wasn't prepared, right? It's always about being prepared. And to be prepared is to be informed. So I got a minute left before we start the next session. I was only planning to do one hour session today, but I can do another 50 minutes before I sign off. Um, being prepared and being informed. When it was working and I had a disposable income, I made a decision that I want to incorporate YouTube and learning YouTube and having a YouTube channel into my life. So I made the investment. Invested in a new laptop, nice camera, nice microphone, good lighting all around me, nice chair, AI software, editing software. And I didn't do this because I was expecting to lose my job. I did this because I know that there's opportunity and a return on the investment to be gained from going and participating in the creative economy. So I set myself up for that. And I lost my job now and I already got this stuff. So now that I got this stuff, I got the time because I don't got a job. I got the time now to put my investment to more use. Not that I wasn't using it before, but now I got the time to put my investment to more use. And this is all because I made an effort to be informed, right? And I hope that if there's any takeaway that you get for the sessions today is to stay informed, stay abreast of the times and the changes that going on around you. See where the trends are. Don't chase these trends, but see where the trends are and try to predict where things are going. And the last story I'm going to give you in terms of prediction, I have to thank my mom for the position that I am in today. Because I remember when I was 16 and I had to make the decision on what I'm going to study at community college, I was super interested in building and civil engineering and, becoming an architect. And in having a conversation with my mom back in those days, this was way before iPhone. We still had rotary phones. There wasn't even mobile phones yet in them days, unless you're talking about the big Motorola's that you see in Miami Vice and stuff. But that long time ago, and computers was just coming about. When my mom had a conversation with me, my mom said, Andre, she thinks that computers are the way to go. Not that architecture or building and civil engineering is necessarily a bad thing, right? But she had the foresight and the information to know that computers and technology was going to be the next thing and was going to blow up. Just like how some of us now know that social media, online marketing, obviously it blowing up now, but somebody had the foresight to say, yeah, this is going to be a thing. And somebody made that decision then, and like a Mr. Beast back in the day, 10 years ago, they had the foresight to see where things were going, to see what the trends are, and align their self and what they are going to do next based on being informed. I mean, I'm saying, yeah, hey, I know you're interested in the building and civil engineering, but if you're interested in exploring and expanding your mindset and exploring the information technology field, I'll buy you a computer if you decide to go with information technology. It's a pretty good incentive. Obviously, back in those days, computers were rare. I was 17 years old. This was back in 1996, 1995. Long time ago, 90s. I mean, 90s. The 1990s, long before the 2000s, right? And I made that decision to, as I say in Barbados, listen to my foolish advice, right? And obviously the computer was a really good incentive, and that pushed me to get into technology, and that brings me to this point where everything is technology, everything is digital, full on information age. Even everything that you do in the YouTube space is digital. We got AI algorithms, we got advanced computer programs that put content and put videos in front of people for them to consume based on their viewing patterns and habits. That's high tech stuff. And for me, dropping into this world, I was able to drop into the world like that. Obviously, I don't got a million subscribers, right? But I got to know how to do everything that you see here and produce everything that you see in here easily. I pick up OBS Monday morning. I was like, wait, I can't stream the way I want to stream. I can't use the camera. I could only use my webcam if I want to go live. But I was determined to go live. And you know what? I was like, okay, cool. My information technology background allowed me to be able to pick up OBS Studio. Within half hour, 45 minutes, get a live stream up and running. Obviously, there's still other things that I gotta learn in the creative space, figuring out video editing and stuff like that. But again, all that is using computer applications. And my background is in what? Computers, information technology, training and documentation. I edit like a boss now. Obviously, I ain't I ain't got some of the best editing, like obviously people that doing cinematic editing and color grading and whatever the case may be. But I am pretty proficient that I can edit a video and get it out, a 10-minute video, 15-minute video. I can edit it with B-roll, transitions, color grading, audio levels, etc. in a couple days. And I see on Reddit people be like, oh, this take them weeks, sometimes 2 weeks, 3 weeks to edit a video, because they're fuddling around with the technology. They're skilled in one aspect of it, like how I fuddling around in like sometimes they fuddling around communication, sometimes they fuddling around like camera presence or whatever the case may be. But my other basic fundamentals free up my headspace to be able to make better decisions, or to be able to focus on learning new things and building on my skill set. A really, really well-rounded individual. Anyhow, today is all about staying informed. Because when you're informed, you're empowered. And when you're empowered, the next best opportunity for you that could change your life together is one door, two doors away. And you wouldn't even know it. Because like I said, when I left Barbados, I was like literally making something like $4.50 US. If you're gonna put things into perspective, $4.50 US or something like that an hour. Crazy, right? So like 70 Barbados dollars a day, which is 35 US dollars. Can you imagine working 35 US dollars a day? Gotta figure out rent, food, all the other things. Anyhow, sorry for the snort. I real congested. So let me lock in another 50, and we get productive, and we keep in our minds every day. We keep in our minds. We need to stay informed. We need to stay abreast of what's going on. One last thing before we go. Be informed. Communities is now available that you can create a community on your YouTube page, and from that community people could come and post on your page and interact with you without having to wait on you to make a community post. Really, really great update. Check it out. You can turn it on really easy from the actual YouTube application. You don't have to use YouTube Studio. You can turn it on from the YouTube application. There's a short on the YouTube creator page about it, so you should go check that out. That being said, let me lock in for another 50 and get productive and stay productive, right? Let me make it happen. Another great session. Wow, super excited about a lot of the opportunities that I see out there, in terms of available jobs and stuff. Um, Had to admit that I was super surprised that there are a lot of jobs that meet my skill set. So super excited with that. Got a lot saved. Next steps for me gonna be working on getting my resume up to speed, and then from there shoot out some applications. But remember, the team is stay informed, and that's the big key takeaway today. Stay informed, and when you hear people telling you stuff, research it, double check the information, and make sure that they're giving you the right information, because this is your responsibility to be informed. Don't let people inform you. Do your research, do your due diligence, and stay up, and you will always be better for it. Anyways, thanks for stopping in for the tune today, for the stream today. As always, gratitude is the attitude. Thanks again. Appreciate you all. Have a blessed